So like basically my character is now at the point when the story starts, something like 49-ish. So like somewhere like very end of the
Right.
middle age range. So I will build it like according to the middle age one. And well, she was kind of like a peasant, so, sort of like in her past, but like maybe a bit, I don't know, wealthier one. I guess maybe they could have owned the land or something because, well, it's partly related to the dark secret, and if we don't have to reveal it, then I might just keep it quiet.
But
But anyway,
they became a writer.
yeah. Well, I was thinking like her name could be Agnes or something like that, unless some of you have like really similar names. So
Otto.
I don't want any confusion.
She will be of Swedish descent then, I reckon.
Yeah. Like I haven't decided like where exactly, but I don't think from Norrköping really. So it could be somewhere like further away, like from the north or very south or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so the thing is like, well, she was a farm girl, and someday she found some kind of injured peasant, and I was hoping to get some kind of like suggestions from you when you hear a bit more. Well, she found an injured one. She took it home. She tried to heal it, failed. After a couple of days, it was dead. And then she wanted to bury it, so she went back to woods. She didn't tell anyone, stuff like that. And then other peasant of the same type found her with the body, and they turned her look 80-year-old.
Oh my God.
She was 18 at that time, so that was obviously a bit of shock. She thought it was a revenge from the creatures, and she couldn't return home, so she left. And this is where the dark secret part comes to play, but I'm not
So
saying about
then
it.
something happened, and
Something is related to that, yeah. And then like, well, over time, well, she had to learn how to live alone. Like she couldn't go back home. She would end up in asylum or poorhouse or executed. And so she left, not too far first, but then maybe a bit later could have gone further. And she started to realize, like, well, wait a second, there are benefits of looking old. People take her more seriously. People listen to her better. She doesn't have to listen to what people expect from her, what she should do or shouldn't do, and stuff like that. And then she suddenly felt like she was liberated and started to believe that the creatures actually rewarded her, and basically filled her deepest desire in a bit unconventional way, though. She didn't want to look like an 80-year-old. The thing is, like, she only looks like that. It's not like her mind, her physique, everything stayed the same, but only the appearance changed. And she has looked exactly the same ever since.
All these years.
For the
30 years.
what it is.
Yeah.
30, I don't know. Like, well, she's 49 now, so if you can do the math. And yeah, so that's basically the thing. And well, that's the motivation.
But now she's a successful writer.
Well, could be or could not be, because I think she might want to write about person, like maybe some fiction, maybe some essays, maybe sharing some ideas that are not very approved all the time by everyone. So I think it could go either way. And also the thing is, like, she probably has had maybe 3 or 4 names
that's
before,
because
she is expected to die at some point, so she kind of has to move away somewhere else. So maybe it's like 3-ish, could be. But every time she has been writing, because it's something she can do.
So
like,
if I read this news story from this author, I can say, wow, this author was clearly heavily influenced by that other author 20 years ago. Right.
Yeah, something like that. But like the thing is, like I think the author suits her in a way, or some kind of writer, because well, if she's expected to be like 80-year-old by everyone else, because no one else knows except maybe I think
Right.
yeah, we can see if you know or if you don't, but I think it could make sense depending how long we have known
Right.
each other and stuff.
Right.
But everyone else, they don't know. So her family never found out what's
Right.
really happened and stuff. So the thing is that she can do that. Like you can imagine an 80-year-old doing that, but maybe like some really heavy farm work.
Right. Exactly. It's like
maybe not.
Mm-hmm. But
So, yeah.
Helma, we didn't hear too much more about your character. We only know the basics.
Okay, the basic was I don't remember when Ola came in, so I probably repeated very fast, except for the confused part.
Right.
The basic was Burger, and in father's or mother's footsteps. So I haven't put that much thought into it. And then the profession was explorer. And then I started, and that I could ask right now. In Sweden, would academic work count as burger? Because that's different in different countries. It would in Germany, and my brain actually started walking down that path, and then I thought I'd better ask.
Well, in the background section, burger. Well, initially, in Swedish it's borgare. It's basically from a merchant family or all.
Yeah, I suspected that.
An apothecary, or maybe a grocer, or brickmaker or something. So it's mostly a city-based trading profession.
Mm-hmm.
That is really what burger means.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can come up with something then. But anyway, I have to get this explorer in there. And even worse, hunter. Because that for me means kind of gentry. If it's a more or less professional. Never mind. I'll figure it out. And then the life it went was sweetheart.
Oh.
Which basically was described as you have a lover somehow, somewhere.
It might help. Okay. Okay. All right.
And then you can choose whether they are still around or not.
So that seems all very normal so far. So I guess it would have to become your dark secret that you would turn to figure out why you were,
I'm
affected.
not entirely sure about age, because that may have to be connected with a dark secret. That's why I'll have to talk to Peter later.
I'll have some PMs in front of me.
Yeah, I see.
Later after this session, of course. There's no problem.
And the motivation was life in tune with nature, so that was fine.
That's interesting too. Your character seems so perfectly well adjusted compared to the rest of us. So yes, whatever that dark secret is really going to be important. Yeah. Whereas,
and then, but the trauma is attacked by the branches of an ash tree wife. Please, somebody, enlighten me. What does that mean?
Peter.
All right, an ash tree wife. Earlier, what do you call it? According to folklore, there are. You could call them nymphs. Really, that is really what you call it. A more. What do you call it? A more common equivalent. There are said to be guardians in the trees, usually looking like women. They are in Swedish. It's called skogsro, or what do you call it? An ash tree wife, as it's translated here. Which is a guardian or protector spirit. You usually recognize them, but by them looking like women, but they have some faults to them, like cloven hooves or tails, and usually some other minor physical attributes that makes them distinct from other women. They also have one specific detail that is common to them all. Their backs always look like a hollowed out log,
Right.
usually. So that makes them distinct from other people. They look like regular humans from a distance, but up close, their backs are hollow like a log, and they are protector spirits of the woods, and also giving advice to humans or others or other spirits or country folk.
Or in this case, attacking someone.
Or in this case, attacking
that's what
someone.
I'm wondering. Why would such a person attack me?
Well,
well,
actually, I don't want to come to this conclusion for you, but something you said already does seem very likely to be involved.
Maybe you have trespassed on special grounds.
Yeah, let's hold on here. I want to see if she sees.
Of course.
She doesn't have to take it, but if she sees it, then we'll see what she thinks.
Yeah. I'm missing something here.
You said that you rolled the life event that your character has a lover.
Yeah. So, like, envious?
I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, I'm just saying that you have components you can put together if you want.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe.
saying you have to, but
maybe. And then I'm very unhappy with the talent I rolled, so I may just change it because it says marksman, and
that's not working.
I see no reason to go down that path.
No problem.
But I like the Memento because that's a book in a foreign language, and that fits for me quite nicely with a sweetheart.
Right. Huh. Okay.
Oh, and as per usual, I am going to make it a female character. It's easier for me.
All right.
So that's all I have so far, apart from the Dark Secret.
All right.
And I hope I didn't miss anything because I wrote it down without looking at the character sheet. I just looked at the rules.
Right.
Kind of.
Well, Peter can help you through the numbers during the week, probably at some point.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm available after this session, by the way. So if there's any questions or private chats, there's no problem. We'll go through this quietly or calmly together.
So, Peter, for first of all, I guess Ola still has to choose whom the character serves. But what do you have in mind for us? We already belong to this society, right?
Yes.
All of us already belong to this society, and that we meet locally, so we probably actually know our characters. They already know each other, correct?
Yes. I would suggest all of you knowing each other, or at least having had each other as an acquaintance or something.
Right. Well, even just as part of the society. That sounds great. If I'm the vicar of the church, then I have considerable authority over, its use or something. So I could even disguise our society meetings as, church events or as something like that.
Indeed.
So these people from different backgrounds, it wouldn't be so strange for them to be together in that context.
I'm just checking one name here. There is I was just going to check on one detail. The common thing that will, draw the plot together is for you meeting one former society member named Linnea Elfeklint. I could spell it out in the chat or something. She has been having, an episode, and has been admitted to the Norrköping prison for mental reasons. But she has something very important to tell you, and she has summoned you all there. So that is the premise, the start of the whole mystery, so to speak. So that is really the gist of it all.
Mm-hmm. I think that sounds like a great place to start. I'm completely ready for that. By the way, speaking of names, I'm interested if everybody has a name, or whoever does or doesn't. My character's name is Otto Nistrom. I just took it from the priest suggestions.
All right.
And Ola told us about Carlson. And
Yeah, that Carlson is my surname, but
Yes.
I'm actually, my first name is Hilding. Hilding Carlson, and I'm known in the criminal world as Heidlöse Hilding.
okay.
That
Yeah,
probably
right.
only means something to
Everybody writes everything into the chat, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
please
I
include
will
that. Please
share
include
that.
that in your character sheet.
Right. And so then, does anyone else have a name for their characters?
I
And
know
I
my
have
the first name is going to be Magnus. The last name may change. So yeah, we see it there.
Mm-hmm. Hannah or
Elsa,
Alma?
but I don't have a last name. I have to look up something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you said Agnes. Is that?
Yeah.
Magnus.
No, I know that, but
Sorry.
Agnes.
Oh
for-
no, it's too close. So I will be
Oh.
Ruth.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not too close.
It is too close. I can guarantee you because we have had Aldred and Andris in the same campaign, and it's like Aldred. No, wait, Andris. Whatever. We can't even have the same like first letter.
That's what makes fantasy and science fiction very easy. You can just be called Elf Song or Purple or whatever
Right.
instead of Greta Thunberg or something.
Yeah, I will be Ruth. I think
Okay.
it was suggested in the list, and I guess I might take the last name from there as well because too uncreative for that.
No, that's
No,
fine. It's
no
more
pressure.
fun. They chose the names very carefully, I think, so that they match kind of the literary stereotypes of these kinds of characters. So the names lists are very different for each archetype.
Yeah, but I don't want to be Johansson or Nilsson, and there's the third one. I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not taking the writer name currently.
Okay.
I want something like other that maybe means something. Englund. Okay, that's the name.
Okay.
That's good.